What's going on, guys? So another week in the book in my weekly rotation, and there was some stuff I haven't worn in quite a while that I revisited. There's a few of those, some channel favorites, some newer stuff to the collection, some all-time great, attention-getting fragrances, just a little bit of everything, but a bunch of really, really good smelling stuff that has some variety. There's some deeper fragrances, there's some more leather-heavy fragrances, and then we got a whole bunch of really good fresh fragrances. So it's week number 136 in the weekly rotation. Stay tuned. Starting off on Sunday, this is one I wanted to revisit. I actually did a full review on it. It's one that was featured in my designer list for this particular summer of 2022 because I wanted to reach back for it because it's such a great polo blue flanker that doesn't get a ton of love, and it's probably the best one for summer. We are talking about Polo Ultra Blue from Ralph Lauren. This is a very beautiful fragrance, a lot of citron, lemon, sharp citrus at the top. It's a little metallic and sea salty. It has a little bit of an aquatic vibe. There's some mineral notes that kind of ground the scent, give it a little bit of depth. A little bit of herbs, touch of green. I believe there's some basil or something like that in here. It's nothing crazy complex. It's relatively simple, even though I listed off a few different things about it. Average to slightly below average performer. It needs the heat to really perform and really do some good on your skin, but it's beautiful. Once outdoors in the summer, this is the kind of fragrance you want to have on your skin. Make sure to check out my full review for more details on this one, but kind of a forgotten flanker in the Polo Blue line. During the day, it's Polo Ultra Blue, and then we got the shower. It's one of those fragrances that from time to time I just get in the mood, no matter what time of year, no matter if it's out the shower, casually, going to dinner, whatever. I wear it for anything and everything. We're talking about Zaharoff Signature Rosé. One of my favorite fragrances in my collection, my absolute favorite from the house. It's just such a great, sweet rose incense fragrance. Performance is great. It's very seductive. It's an addictive smell, not just for yourself, but for those around you, for the wearer and those around the wearer can definitely appreciate this fragrance. Absolutely sample worthy. One of the must tries from the house. This is masterfully done by Claude Deer. Beautiful fragrance. Like I said, I like to wear it all the time, randomly, for just about anything and everything. I just randomly get in the mood for it, and I rock it. Out the shower on Sunday, Zaharoff Signature Rosé. This was actually the 4th of July, and I had a few fragrances I was debating on wearing, but what ended up winning out was Intense Cedrat Boisé from Mancera. Those of you that have yet to try this out, this is the deeper, richer, spicier, more slightly animalic, leathery take on Cedrat Boisé. It doesn't have all of the same freshness. Still does have some of it, a lot of that fruity pop in the opening that Cedrat Boisé is famous for. 45% oil concentration. This is much more rich and dense and very easy to go nose blind to. Trust me, you'll think it's on the weaker side, but your nose is just wearing out because it's so strong. The sillage on this one is actually a monster. You don't need a lot of sprays. A strong compliment getter. Absolutely got 3 compliments. We went to my in-laws we had about 17 or 18 people for the July 4th party, and I did get 3 or 4 people ask me what I was wearing or tell me I smell nice. It's an attention grabber. It turns heads. It's strong. It has the power to really reach out and grab somebody. It's a great fragrance. The original's amazing, don't get me wrong. But if you haven't tried this one yet, you really should, especially if you're a big fan of the original during the day. Intense Cedrat Boisé from Mancera. I got the shower. I just featured this one recently in a video. Got me in the mood to wear it. Guerlain L'Homme Ideal Eau de Parfum. Beautiful sweet cherry almond fragrance. A little bit of leather. So good. So good. This is one of those fragrances I was talking about. Actually does pretty well in the high heat, because the fruitiness comes out. It doesn't become too cloyingly sweet as long as you're not spraying it too heavy. If you spray this one, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then sometimes, yeah, it's probably going to be too much. But 2 or 3 sprays and a nice, under an umbrella lunch date type of thing, you'd be surprised how well this stuff works. Out the shower, lounging around, I was just in the mood for it, just enjoying it for myself. But it's a lovely fragrance. This one's strong, too. Guerlain L'Homme Ideal Eau de Parfum. But this is one that I decided to rock all day long. I wore it to the gym. I've been wearing it to the gym sporadically. I wore it as my scent of the day. I wore it out the shower. It is Mercedes-Benz Select Day. So, beautiful bottle. Cap's a fingerprint magnet. Great atomizer. Thing about this one, much more watery take on Versace Man Eau Fraiche. Once this gets a little bit cheaper, this will be a great fragrance that has a little bit higher quality smell to the Versace Man Eau Fraiche scent profile. It's not as musky. It's much more clean and watery. Like I said, the scent quality is a little bit better. Right now, it's priced too high. I wouldn't advise you guys going after it. I paid right around $55, $60 for this. Not a terrible price, but if you have Versace Man Eau Fraiche, you can, or you want Versace Man Eau Fraiche, you can get it cheaper. I did a full review on this one as well. You're just better off getting Versace Man Eau Fraiche, unless this one drops down to like $30 for 100 ml, which it very well could. That happens a lot with Mercedes fragrances. If you can find this one around $30, $35, this might be the better option if you want a cleaner take, a more aquatic, watery, clean take. Higher quality. I'm telling you, so much higher quality than Versace Man Eau Fraiche. You might want to look into this one. So during the day, Mercedes, and actually all day long, Mercedes-Benz Select Day. Moving into Wednesday, so this was some hype beast classics right here. One is probably the most hype fragrance of all time. The other is probably the most hype cheap fragrance of all time. During the day, I ended up going with Creed Aventus. The so-called king. I actually did a video asking at this point, is Creed Aventus fool's gold? I had a really good, what I felt was a really good discussion. The feedback was really good. And I give my thoughts on it and go over a few alternatives that I would take over this. Now, don't get me wrong. I have a bottle. I do wear it on occasion. This was one of the fragrances that was in the running for Independence Day and ended up not going with it. Left it on the rotation table, said why not, ended up rocking it and enjoying every minute of it on my skin. I mean, I do enjoy the fragrance. I have a ton of fragrances that smell like this, because I agree with a lot of people that it's one of the best fragrance DNAs and scent profiles ever created for men. It really is. But there's just so many ways to get either better performance, a certain style to the profile. There's just so much available out there that this could potentially be fool's gold these days, because the price isn't getting better. You know what I mean? But it is a great fragrance if you got the money to spend. Nothing beats the original at the end of the day, and some people don't want to go with alternatives and clones and inspired by fragrances and twists and all these different things. But, you know, during the day, definitely enjoyed it. Creed Aventus. And speaking of that most hype cheap fragrance of all time, let's talk about Nautica Voyage. I was in the mood to rock this one out the shower. I haven't worn it in a little while. I wore it to the gym not that long ago, very recent. And it's just, it never gets old. This is a happy fragrance for me. It's one that just lifts my mood when I smell it. It's a watery, juicy green apple smell. A little touch of white florals. It's clean and musky. There's a touch of woods, deep dry down, but sub $20 price point. This is a hard to beat fragrance. This is definitely the best Nautica fragrance they've ever put out. It's no secret I'm a big fan of the house. I have a majority of the Nautica fragrances that have come out over the years. I don't have even close to all of them, but I do have a pretty good bit of them, and there's no denying this is great. All of the flankers are solid, but none of them are as good as the original. So for some reason or another you have yet to try this one, maybe you should. It's the most hype cheap fragrance ever for a reason. Out the shower, Nautica Voyage. Moving into Thursday, this is one that I have not spent time with in a very, very long time. It was nice to go with it. It's kind of Prada's take on Le Male. Some of you know where I'm going with this. Prada Luna Rossa Sport. Yes, this does have a strong similarity to Le Male. Does have a lot of the original's DNA as well. Nothing sporty about this fragrance. It's lavender. It's vanilla. There's a little bit of woods. It's definitely a more refined take on Le Male's scent profile. I do think this is a better fragrance. Not absurdly powerful, but this has a nice little trail. You can grab some attention with this fragrance, especially if you're more on the moderate to heavy side of spraying, because in the first 2 hours or so, this is very easily discoverable by others. We actually had to go do some grocery shopping, and I did actually get a compliment from the person bagging the groceries, because when we go to Kroger, they have a bagger, and I usually help the bagger. I'm not just going to stand there and watch. And he did say, man, you smell really good. So count it. You know, it all factors in. You know, I'm not out there fishing for them, but when they happen, it does make you feel nice. And this is definitely one that surprisingly pulled a compliment for me when I wore it. And I haven't wore it, I couldn't tell you the last time I wore this fragrance. It's so good, though. Underrated gem, I don't think it's in production anymore. I'm not 100% certain about that. Don't quote me. Reach out to Prada and ask them. That's the only real way to find out, honestly. But I did notice that prices are going up online for it, so that's usually a sign of scarcity and discontinuation. So like I said, I'm not here confirming anything, but I believe it's no longer in production. Great fragrance. Sad to see it go. Like I said, anybody that's ever liked Le Male, this is a better, more refined take on the scent profile. And during the day, Prada Luna Rossa Sport. And then when I got out the shower, I've been using some same scent layering products recently. For those of you that haven't seen the layering video that I just put out, make sure to check it out so you can see all of the different products. But I did rub on the body oil from my luxury scent for Xerjoff Mefisto, and then gave myself 2 sprays of my 5 ml decant of Xerjoff Mefisto. Metallic, fresh citrus, soapy, floral, powdery, some iris. It's such a good fragrance. Basically a better version of Creed Silver Mountain Water. It's similar. They're not the same fragrance, but there's a lot of similarities, and I'm telling you, this is better. It performs better, and I just think it smells better. I really do. Performance is night and day different. But it's one of those fragrances that I haven't had a decant of this in a while. I have had a small 2 ml decant in the past of this, and it was nice to get another. And it's not a clone, it's an original, decanted from the original bottle. It just smells so good. So I ended up rocking it out the shower because I used the body wash in the shower, and then the following night, actually, the next segment we'll do, I did it again. So actually really been enjoying this one, and only needing 2 sprays because I'm rubbing body oil behind the ears and on my hand for me to sniff on, plus I'm showering with the body wash. So a great way to enhance and kind of layer the same scent through using multiple products. So definitely enjoying this out the shower, Xerjoff Mefisto. Moving into Friday, never going to change, always going to be my favorite, Invictus Aqua 2018 from Paco Rabanne. For those of you not familiar, the reason it says the name on the front is because it's a tester bottle. I love this fragrance. No fragrance puts me in a better mood than Invictus Aqua 2018. This is my preferred scent profile. If I could just keep one fragrance out of all the fragrances I have, it would be this one. I love it. It puts me in such a good mood. Really does. It's so fresh, so invigorating, so uplifting, great in the heat, really pops off of my skin, has pulled many compliments in for me. It's such a good fragrance. It really is. I love this stuff. It's my favorite. I forgot how many sprays I did. This is one that I'm guilty of refreshing when I don't need to. It'll be 3 or 4 hours in. I absolutely don't need to refresh. And I'll give myself another quick 5, 6, 7 sprays just for the hell of it to intensify the scent around me again and relive the opening and all that. You know how it is. There's certain fragrances that you just can't help yourself, and you just want to keep spraying and keep enjoying and over. One of the beauties of being into fragrances is just enjoying your scent. At the end of the day, that's all that matters, as long as you enjoy your scent. During the day, my favorite, Paco Rabanne's Invictus Aqua 2018 formula. And like I said before, when I got the shower, I had went with the layering combo for Xerjoff Mefisto. Had the body wash I showered with, the body oil rubbed behind my ears and on my hand, and then 2 sprays of the fragrance, and I was good to go. Finally, on Saturday, some fruity, fresh fragrances. One that is one of the most attractive openings ever. This fragrance is so good. It's the most expensive fragrance besides Creed Aventus at retail. In this video, actually, price per ml, this 50 ml costs as much at retail as that 100 ml of Creed Aventus. But Elysium Parfum pour Homme from Roja Parfums. I don't pull this one out all the time, but boy, when I get in the mood for it, I sure the hell enjoy it. Metallic, fruits, citruses, clean musk. It's so good. There's a little bit of florals and greens here. More about vetiver and clean, lighter blonde woods. Super fresh, super good, strong sillage without being too strong of a projector early on. It's one that you can just enjoy. This is just enjoyable. Another one that's a head turner. In my experience, it's not some magnet for compliments, but I have had a few situations in the, almost 2 handfuls of times I've worn this fragrance where I got a nice compliment paid to me. It's one of those fragrances that you have to be in the mood for, and honestly, I can't think of too many moods where you wouldn't want to wear this fragrance. It's beautiful, a bright, beautiful sunny day. You're going to be out and about. This is a great fragrance. It's going to stick with you all throughout the day. You won't need to bring a decant or the bottle to respray. It's just, like I said, one of the best fruity fresh openings I've ever smelled. Such a good fragrance, an olfactive experience, just like Creed Aventus, an olfactive experience worth having at least once, just so you can say, I tried it, and I either see or don't see what all the hype is about, because this is some really good stuff. During the day, Elysium Parfum pour Homme from Rossa Parfums. Then I got the shower. What I'm currently wearing now is David Beckham Instinct Sport. This is so good. Super underrated stuff. It's not some groundbreaking new DNA, but it's a little aquatic and watery. It's citrusy. It's woody. I know that sounds a little generic, but the way it's done, it works. Sub $20 price point. I think I paid 16 or 17 bucks for this. Look, it's not some super amazing fragrance that I'm recommending. Yes, you go run get this. That's not the case, but you could do a whole lot worse in the sub $20 price point. I just really enjoy wearing this one. This is one of those grab and go, keep in your bag type of fragrances. Average type of performance, to slightly below average, somewhere in the 4 to 6 hour range. It just smells really, really good. It's not chemically synthetic. It's not too synthetic of a scent. It's youthful. It's easygoing. It's mega versatile. And it's great in the heat. I wear this one to the gym sporadically. I like to rock this one to the gym. And then lounging around casually. Kind of been one of my go-tos as of late. Out the shower, David Beckham Instinct Sport. Well, that was this week's rotation. And until next time, do me a real quick favor. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. So I do appreciate all the feedback, and I love hearing from you guys. What did you wear this week? I love reading those comments. It's my favorite comments of the week to read every week, to see what you guys have been rocking. Did we wear anything the same this week? It doesn't have to be in the same day. Just, do we have a similar mindset for our style, for our fragrance wardrobe this week? I love seeing it because it does happen. Definitely some really, really good stuff. Some of my personal favorites, and then, like I said, like with Prada Luna Rossa Sport and Polo Ultra Blue, stuff I haven't reached for in a while. That was such a joy to wear this past week. Pulled Creed Aventus out for the first time in a while. And so even rocked Elysium Parfum pour Homme and Intense Cedrat Boise. Just some heavy hitters this particular week. And until next time, I will say, if you get your hands on any of the fragrances I wore this past week and you give them a spray now, you might end up thanking me later. Have a good one, guys.